Friday night, Channel 6, UPTV.
You know
Tell
what
like
time
it is.
You know what time it is.
You better know. What time is it, Bun?
Game time.
What time?
Game time.
Beast mode. Tell like it is, 60 minutes of sports. And I guess there's only two things we really need to talk about for the whole night. First half of the show, we're going to talk about the Fighting Illini basketball team and what happened at
Chester, move.
We're gonna talk about what didn't happen. The ball going in the basket.
Yeah, the ball didn't go in the basket. They didn't get the ball. They didn't rebound the ball. They didn't steal the ball. They didn't do nothing with the ball. And then we're going to talk about that other ball.
Hey, the way y'all talk, the only thing they did positive, got off the bus and got dressed.
And that probably wasn't even positive. Probably had a
Somebody
uniform
probably
back.
tweaked their ankle doing that.
And then we'll talk about the oblong ball, because Super Bowl was the XLIII.
You know what it is.
You know, I can't count with Roman numerals.
I bet you can, but I bet you remember the first one.
Right.
42 of them.
Right.
You know what?
That's
the last-
You didn't only miss what, 2 Super Bowls? 3? 4?
He had seen them all.
I see them all.
He's seen every last one of them.
Yeah.
It's about time we get off this age jokes around this joint. We ain't gonna be sitting up in here in UPTV and y'all gonna be getting these jokes up on me.
Curtis Mattress, flow model.
The little scenes on top.
Right.
That was Super Bowl 9. That's when my daddy sat in the middle. I sat on this side, Bob sat on this side. That's it was the Vikings and the Steelers. I cried after that one.
Explain that to me, man. Please do.
Okay.
Your brother,
Uh-huh.
Indiana Hoosier fan,
Right.
Pittsburgh Steelers fan,
Right.
raised up in Champaign. I mean,
How did it happen?
you are a
Don't
Vikings.
don't forget Ohio State.
Buckeye, right? I can break it down to you real quick. We growing up. Remember, how many channels is on cable TV right now? Or
100 and some.
guess how many channels is on when we watch TV?
2.
4.
Let me see.
3, 15, 17,
And 12.
And 12. And sometimes if the weather was nice,
2 of them was
you
on.
could pick up one from Indianapolis. If you had like overcast. So them the only channels you got, first of all.
So weren't y'all Colts fans?
So
Well, they wasn't there.
Well, right. Colts wasn't there. They was out in Baltimore.
Right, they wasn't there.
So
See,
now-
Yeah,
he don't
you know,
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Right.
Old folks talking.
I realized what
your
I
mouth.
said, man.
Oh, shh.
Okay.
Now,
Back to the old man
back
story.
to the old man story. So, college football. Let's talk about that. Illinois didn't come on TV.
Yeah, and they wasn't no good.
They was horrible.
Right.
You could go out there in a block of 50. We was the only block out. We could put the placards out and, we could change the stuff over. Boys Club, when we used to go out there. So you couldn't be a Illini fan. I mean, no disrespect to Illini today, but back then they was horrible. So you watch Saturday football on ABC. And the only teams that played, and he could even co-sign on this, you got to see Oklahoma, Nebraska,
UCLA,
USC,
Alabama.
Penn State,
Right.
Michigan, and Ohio State. That's all you got to see on TV. That's it. So at the end of the year,
That's
Big
why your
Ten-
girl want her tickets, dog.
yeah, Super Bowl. We're gonna talk about that a little later.
Leaving.
So me and Bob was opposite. So I like Michigan. So he had like Ohio State.
Right.
So that was the only Big Ten game. All the other Big Ten schools was garbage.
Right.
Then in football, living in Champaign, you was forced to watch the Bears or the Packers. Both garbage teams. Jack Concannon.
Oh, he don't want.
Oh, he
Hey,
had
Gale
no choice.
Sayers.
No, not then.
Oh, I'm gonna look too old for you.
Now, Gale Sayers was in the mid-60s.
And
And
Right.
it wasn't like the Bears was,
you remember him, man?
won a championship in
Brian
63.
Piccolo.
Brian Piccolo, Brian song.
Right, So they was, and the Vikings, they was good, from 69 on.
Outdoor Stadium.
The Met, Bloomington, Minnesota. Both teams stayed on the same sideline. For real, and Minnesota had no heaters. That's why I used to beat everybody in the cold. Bud Grant would not allow them to wear gloves, and they had no heaters on the sideline. And the field would freeze. And they go out with
These days,
flamethrowers.
player, he could
He can sue.
Right.
He could grievances thrown around.
Or the Players Association of Bud Grant has been suspended for 4 games for gloves.
Right.
You know. So that's how it happened, man. You know.
Well,
It's
we
just
appreciate that.
You know, just take you back in history. It's that girl.
Try to sneak in.
Yeah.
Right.
Good evening.
Come in tiptoeing.
She came in with them back out slippers on.
Now you see that from all the way up here.
I got daddy vision.
No, that ain't what it is. I put those glasses on today.
He got super vision.
Let me put it to you this way. Wayne put my glasses on today. He looked like John Sally from Bad Boys 2. That's what he looked like.
Anybody needs some weather report? You going out of town somewhere? Call Big Joe. He can tell you what the weather's gonna be like.
Hold on. Let me get this. This is like the Storkel Planetarium. I see the Big Dipper
Right.
through the ceiling.
No, you see more than the Big Dipper.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about what else I see after the show. But let's get back to sports. We're going to talk Illini and football. So if you want to call us, Stat Girl here, 328-8280. Call us. If you ain't at the Central Centennial game, you shouldn't be because, you know, first report,
Wow.
20-7 or 20-9 at the end of
Stat
the
girl,
first
we're
quarter.
going to start levying some fines on you.
I would have you know I got up out of my sick bed to report for duty this evening, so I will not take the
Kudos.
complaints.
You got some Vicks on?
I'm all vixed up.
Y'all Vicks up? You got it on your bottom of your feet?
No.
That's when you're supposed to do that. Or get some pot liquor and rub it on your, somebody rubbing on your back. That'll pull that cold out.
Woo, Chester, woo.
Yeah, we need to get back to that. Back to basketball. Fighting Illini last
He
night.
love to talk about it tonight, wouldn't he?
They took on the Minnesota Golden Gophers
Say nothing bad.
up at the barn. Now, Illinois had won 20 in a row against the Gophers.
20. That was due.
You know, I think the last time Minnesota beat Illinois, Kevin McHale was still wearing tight shorts and high socks. But
Sure.
last night, whew, I'm going to tell you right now,
We just one of them nights, Joe, man.
that was,
Just one of them nights,
I
man.
called it today the perfect storm. That was one of those nights where Tubby Smith had got his team so fired up, tired of hearing about the 20-game winning streak. The Gophers are fighting to be in the upper echelon of the Big Ten like the Illini. Illinois, they've been playing some good basketball lately. You know, just came off a big victory against Wisconsin.
Truthfully, they didn't play that bad last night. They just didn't make shots, man. I mean, what? Minnesota put up 60 points?
They put up 59.
Right, okay.
Well, it's, you know,
Now, here's the thing. The lowest output in point production in Coach Weber's tenure here was 48, and that's when they got beat by Providence back in his first season. But since then, Coach Weber's offense, even last year's team, wasn't that good scoring, but 36 points.
36. I seen
I'ma turn to you, Wayne.
some kid from Utah Valley State or wherever put up 63 last night by itself.
Wow. 30, I mean, did you?
Coach Law outscored him.
They put up what, 48?
45.
45?
But Wayne, I mean, talk a little bit about what you saw in terms of just what was happening on the offensive end of the court.
Shots wasn't falling early, and by the second half, I think a lot of the guys were pressing and rushing shots, you know, just trying to score 8 points in one shot. You know what I mean? Rushing the offense when they should have just stayed consistent going down low to Tisdale, because for the most part, he was pretty productive in the first half. I seen where he could have did some damage if they would have just stuck to it.
Okay.
But I think the point of them not putting up points, they kind of started rushing shots.
Okay. Bun, you watched the game last night, or was you fighting the snow? Or did you get a chance to see any
No,
highlights?
actually, you won't know what I did. Yeah, tell the truth.
Tell me the truth.
I watched CSI, and I flipped back and forth.
Does it-
But as far as I could tell, the first half of Illinois, you know, CSI was last hour. What I saw of Illinois in the first half, they were standing around. There wasn't nobody moving. They were just weaving out top, and they was getting late. It's been a long time since you seen Illinois get late in the shot clock, and they forcing them shots.
It seemed like a lot of their possessions went down to the end.
Tisdale, he's standing out top. He trying to shoot that 10 or 15. Man, get your behind down low.
Right.
You 7-1. And then they get them long. Minnesota's getting them long rebound. Here they go.
And that's the point, too, man. I mean, at a certain point in time, man, they shots went there. You got to go to the hole. Old man told me a long time ago, if your jumper ain't falling, go to get to the free throw line.
Right.
That's true.
You know, go to the hole, draw some fouls. Nobody did that last
Minnesota
night.
outside shot wasn't going. What they do?
To do.
Went to the hole. I mean, and then
Because they weren't scoring for a while either.
No.
You know?
They shots
They
was-
scored most of their
wasn't
points
far.
in the last 8 minutes.
and then Trent Meacham. I mean, they put the clamps on him. This
Man,
second
that's the
time,
last
this
6
second
games,
game.
man. That's the last 6 games.
They
man.
put the clamps on him. But when your leading scorer, you only get 9 points, and you look in the box, he's 9 is the leading scorer,
And come off the bench.
Right.
and he had 5 of those in the first half.
And he throwing up some scoop de jours like he threw up last night.
I think you got to live with that because I think you're talking about Keller, right? That's
Yeah.
just the way he, like you said, I wouldn't want to play him in horse.
But-
Because he would give you HOR quick.
right.
Quick.
But Minnesota, if you look at Minnesota, it's hard to say, one player, like they said, the Celtics turn around with Garnett. Tubby Smith is coming there and made them guys believe.
Believers.
Made them believe. Took the same team, added a few little, Mr. Sampson III, and a couple more, younger players. Took the same team. But what people fail to realize, Tubby Smith is not one of these cats that it just came out of high school, say, hey, man, we got a job in Minnesota, you want to come? This man had been around the block. He done
Right.
been in Tulsa.
He made them a winner.
He been down the UK and won a national championship. So his resume is stacked high. And to me, they disrespected him in the Big Ten.
Well, I look at Tubby and, I know you from down there, so don't take this wrong. But you ever looked at the Minnesota mascot, the Golden Gopher? You ever looked at Tubby Smith?
They cousins.
They first cousins. Because Tubby reminds me of the big old giant Golden Gopher.
Ain't
And
nothing wrong with
beware of that Golden Gopher. Now, Tubby, Bun, you laid it out perfectly. His resume is stacked.
Yeah.
And he went to a program, I think he got to be able to go up there and was given an open checkbook. Where you
Pressure.
go into a
Pressure
situation.
dog.
Well, you think about it.
You go Kentucky, man. Kentucky, I mean,
What I was going to say is that you go up to Minnesota. Last time Minnesota really had anything of significance was Clem Haskins when they went to the Final Four in the mid-'90s. Now that they've had all these issues up there, Tubby goes in, and I bet you the AD and the president said, look, do what you do, and we won't mess with you.
Right.
And Tubby got the opportunity, and you named out some players. Ross Sampson III brings him in. You got Westbrook there. Nolan. You got Johnson. So he's brought in a nucleus just in 2 years of athletes that they haven't had in Minnesota in a while. So,
Right.
Wayne, Tubby.
Yeah, like, I mean, to go off what Bunny said, this is not, Tubby came into the Big Ten as probably, other than Tom Izzo, who else could you say that's been there and done that?
Yeah. Tom Izzo's the only one.
Right. So, Tubby.
You could say Bruce Weber, but you can't say Bruce Weber because
Because this is really his second job.
He was handed a gold mine
Right.
when old boy left to go to Kansas.
Right.
And he just put his little pieces with it, and it went
Tubby
on.
is having to be the
Tom Izzo,
architect.
Yeah,
of
Tom Izzo
this.
has been through. What's his name? Heathcup or whatever they.
Yeah,
Heathcote.
Yeah,
Him
him
too.
Yeah, him too. He done been up under him. Then you got your man, your uncle down in Purdue. He gone now. Gene Katie.
Gene Katie.
Right.
Hold on a second.
Gene Katie was a proven winner.
Just put my Gene Katie hair on.
Right.
Let me
And
get
so, like Wayne said, ain't there but two. To me, there's only 2 real coaches in the Big Ten.
No, I ain't gonna say that. Big Ten has,
I mean, coaches, but
from top to bottom, man. Right now, you would have to say the Big Ten probably has the best coaches. Better than the ACC because you
Yeah.
only talking about Roy Williams and Coach K.
Yeah.
Down in the ACC. And you probably can't even name 5 coaches in the Big East.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Buzz Williams,
I think
Rick
I-
Pitino,
I think I
John
look at-
Thompson III.
Who is Buzz Williams? What has John Thompson III done?
Well, I look at the,
He went to the
Big
Final
Ten.
Four.
If you think about the coaches there, we mentioned Tubby, Bruce Weber, Final Four, Tubby, national championship, Tom Izzo, multiple Final Fours and national championship.
Tom Crean.
Final Four with Marquette. John Beilein, real successful at West Virginia, now turned around in
Almost.
Michigan. Thad Matta, Final Four, Ohio
Twice.
State. Licklider turned Butler program around. Now he's at Iowa. Let's see here. Who else do?
Got your man in Northwestern.
I mean, for what he's given,
But
he's
that's 7
Yeah.
that we just named
Out of 11.
Right.
So you've got some good talent. But like you mentioned, Tubby Smith comes
the cream
in.
of the crop
He's the
for me.
cream of the crop. And I don't think, for some reason, I think people still look at it as Minnesota as opposed to Tubby.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the mistake was made.
Right.
And next year, he's got even a better recruiting class
Oh, yeah.
coming in as he had
Oh,
before.
Minnesota would be one of those teams that's here to stay.
You got it. We'll go to phone lines, 328-8280. Call and tell us your name, tell us where you call from, tell it like it is.
Jonathan Marco. What y'all think about the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl, we're going to talk about that in a few seconds. What you think about it?
Arizona.
Arizona?
Yeah.
Why?
Be quiet.
Why Arizona?
Because
Hey, puppy bite, be quiet. That's your cousin talk.
He said Larry Fitzgerald a beast.
And now the other thing is you got to turn your TV down so if you want to hear yourself and answer the question.
all right.
All right. Now, Larry Fitzgerald's a beast, but why else do you think Arizona's going to win the game?
They got a good experienced quarterback.
Okay, so Kurt Warner, Fitzgerald, anything else?
AJ James.
Edrin.
That's Edrin James, rookie.
Hey, rookie, give us a score.
Larry Fitzgerald and Crumble and Braxton.
Right. Give us a score.
38-34.
38-34. We appreciate you calling UPTV Channel 6. Take care.
If he end up there, that's gonna be one of
All
the
right.
best Super Bowls ever.
38-34 would be a nice score.
Right.
We'll see what's
Be
going on there.
entertaining.
Now, Illinois' issue last night, I started watching a part of this. That, they're 17-4. Let's, kind of put it in perspective. It was just one loss, a loss on the road to Big Ten to a team that's in the upper echelon right now.
Right.
And so, but the one thing what's a rebound?
Illinois don't know what it is.
What's a rebound?
Mike Tisdale sure don't know what a rebound
Could
is.
you introduce the big fellas?
When a attempt goes
I
up,
seen
a
this-
try, excuse me, as you say, as a try goes up and is not successful,
I seen
you
a
go try to
situation
get the
last
try
night
back.
on the free throw
Try
line.
for goal.
Right. I seen a situation on the free throw line last night. Calvin Brock was subbed in the game. Tisdale was matched up with, on the block. They get ready to do the free throw.
Right.
Brock moves him over to the other spot.
Right.
Takes his spot. The rebound comes right to where Brock is.
And
Guess who get the rebound?
The golden gopher.
I mean, come on, you gotta be smart about it. Obviously, Tisdale was in the right spot. I mean, I'm not sure if he'd got the rebound either, but
And the
you
reason why
moved a 7-foot player away from right where the rebound was at.
Well, the reason why I bring up was a rebound is because here it is. You got a 7'1". Mike Davis is what 6'9", 6'10". Combined,
They
bet-
weigh about 200.
right? And I don't think they had 10 rebounds combined last night.
nope.
And don't get me wrong. Mike Davis has done a great job most of the year. He's been almost a double-double man for most of the year. But last night, he was nothing but a puff of smoke.
Right.
Because Iverson, the big fella from Minnesota,
Oh, I thought you were talking about Allen.
no, we talking
Kobe.
about practice. Well, not practice.
Not practice.
We talking about a game. And the game last night was rebound. And Illinois I don't know whether it was they were a step behind.
But this goes back to what we talked about last week, and when we all, everybody's like, the rebound don't matter, and I was like, yes, it do, because it's gonna come to a time where when you got to make that stop and you can't get stops, the second and third chance points gonna kill you. And that's what happened last night.
Last night killed him.
Right. They played solid defense, but they just couldn't secure the ball.
Well, now that last night is over, this is one of those games, just like a boxing match. You get knocked out. You don't even, when you get up off the canvas, you're in the locker room, you ask your manager what happened.
You don't even want to know what
You don't
happened.
even know. You got beat. And you got beat bad. Oh, champ. But we love you. They were done. Bootney Farnsworth style. Now, they go into Sunday's game against Iowa, and Coach Weber said today he believes this is the most important game of the season. Strong words. But I think what he means by that
I agree.
is how are they going to bounce back emotionally against Iowa after coming off a drubbing like that in Minnesota.
I mean, you got to throw last night away, forget about it. But if you come out here and lose to Iowa Sunday, that can lead to a long losing streak. I mean, just for their psyche, just to lose to a team like Iowa at home, the underdog team, a team that has probably, what, two wins in the Big Ten?
That's it.
So, you know, like you said, they cannot lose this game Sunday, especially coming from a team that's just now starting to learn how to win.
Right.
You know, they could probably easily revert to last year.
Fold
You know,
camp.
pointing fingers and
Fold camp
know,
and let's
right.
go home.
Exactly. So this is a big game. That I think this is one of the most important games of the year, to where they really need to come out and play as a team.
Yeah, I think mentally this is going to be big, just in the fact that how do you respond to your first blowout? Because
First embarrassment,
this year they played good basketball. They lost to Michigan State. That game was nip and tuck to the last couple of minutes. They played Clemson to the last possession when they lost that game. Minnesota drubbed them. Take that one out. And then Michigan, that game was pretty close. Nip and tuck to the last couple of minutes of that game. So you've lost 4 games this year, but that you take that one out of it. They've been in all the games. They played 21 games. Another 21-20 have been, you know, either Illini victories or pretty close ball games.
Right. Who would have thought?
Right.
And I think the fan base might overact just a little bit, but
Pump your brakes.
slow down.
Right.
Iowa come into town. That's actually the perfect.
It's the Kool-Aid.
Is that Kool-Aid?
Kool-Aid they drank.
Hold on a second.
We can't get it.
We can't get it?
He can't give it to us. Because if he give it to us, he going to lose his Kool-Aid card.
Right.
Yeah,
And he's a
I'm
lifetime
one of the most honest Illinois fans around here, but I ain't finna jump ship because they got beat last night.
That's true. I mean,
know,
but, you know.
It was a basketball game, you know.
A lot of fans can't accept a loss as a loss. It's always got to be excused. The court was slanted. The referees cheated. They went to the free throw lines more than we did. You know, look at
Man, that's every fan. Come on, man. I ain't trying to hear that. That's every fan.
the court slanted.
Every fan got a reason why their team lost. Come on, man.
That's true. Locker room was too hot.
Did like old Boston.
They only cry like that in Illinois. You right.
That's true. They
right.
do.
Well, I tell you what, we're gonna take Illinois basketball and hold on a second.
That's a 3.
I missed.
Not.
Just like they did last night. And since I missed, we're going to drop the subject on Illinois basketball because I think the big game that everybody wants to talk about is on Sunday, February 1st, Super Bowl XLIII. Super Bowl 43, the Arizona Cardinals take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. We never would have thought it. Beginning of the season, none of us would have predicted.
Dollar did.
Well, that's the reason why he's not even sitting here right now.
That was a good guy.
He's a real good guy. Uh-oh, phone lines, 328-8280. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead. Oh, my goodness, Tony La Russa. That can't be Tony La Russa calling in. Are you sitting at a stoplight right now? What's going on?
Hey, I don't know what's going on exactly, but I want to call in the show, call in and say, man, you got to do an unbelievable job. We get calls from everywhere saying that guys over Champaign, Illinois, they represent, they're on the radio show, just talking straight business, basketball, football, track, whatever topic you guys know all about it. So I just want to say, great, good job. Keep up the good work.
Coach La Russa, we appreciate it. You keep doing your thing down in Lexington, Kentucky, and bring home some more bluegrass victories with Jody Meeks in the game.
Oh, no question, Coach. No question. I'll see you guys at the Super Bowl party.
All right, man. Take care. Wow, Coach La Russa.
Right.
I can't believe Tony La Russa, St. Louis Cardinal manager, would call us. Once again, I guess he was at a stoplight
Had to be.
in between beverages.
In between swigs.
Right. He like, whoo, hold on.
I just had a thought. Let me call them boys from Tell It Like It Is.
But before I call him,
Boy, that show do taste good.
coldest 40s in Florida.
Right.
Gotta get a taste.
We'll tell everybody at the end of the show who Coach La Russa it really is.
Right.
You know, but we do appreciate him calling.
Yeah, because you got me. you got me thinking
He's
like,
like, man, who?
I'm gonna give you a hint. Him and Jan switched jobs.
That's why I said Lexington,
Lexington,
Kentucky.
That would throw me off. I'm like, hold on now.
You're like, who you know?
I was looking like,
Yeah, you know, he said he was gonna sneak in a call one of these days,
Right.
just to say what's up to us, and he did that. So we really appreciate Coach hitting us. Now you hear he said he gonna see us at the Super Bowl party.
Yeah, he must. When they play again.
That's why I was like, man, I'm gonna gotta look on the old phone
Right.
and check the schedule, cause the boys in blue, if they're not playing it, he snuck into town. That
Right.
might be trouble.
Right, trouble.
You know, but back to Super Bowl 43.
that could happen. They can play
Arizona
tomorrow.
Cardinals, Pittsburgh Steelers, like we talked about. Nobody but Dollar picked this, you know, and I don't believe it. And it might be Dollar right here. Call it. Tell us your name. Tell us where you call from. Tell it like it is.
This is Steve Glenn.
What's going on, Steve?
Champagne.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to go to the Super Bowl party.
What you say, Steve? Hello.
I want you to go to the Super Bowl party.
Come to your Super Bowl party?
Yeah.
Where is it at?
My house. People can.
Did you get the address?
Nah.
You can't get that. Steve, what's your address?
Look at my address on TV.
Okay.
But, yeah, because people can and I got 100 plasma. Just for me.
We're having a bad reception here, Steve. Maybe you might have to call us back so we can get some more
You're
details.
talking too loud on the phone.
Right. Steve, you still there? No. He's gone. Steve, give us a call back. Maybe you can talk to Stat Girl, give us stats, and then you know, we'll send a representative through to check out your Super Bowl party. But back to the Cardinals and the Steelers. 9-17, 12-14. One team's supposed to be there, another team ain't supposed to be there. One got a grocery bag and quarterback. Other one got a quarterback that looked like he
From the X Games.
exactly. He's just out there
Jumping motorcycles.
jumping motorcycles in the cartwheels, eating windshields,
Right.
you know, doing stuff like that. But
Y'all better leave Bob and team players alone.
last half hour of the show, break it down. First one, I'll turn to you.
Break it down.
Arizona's
Sit over here.
their offense. You know, everybody talks about Larry Fitzgerald, talks about Anquan Bolden, Edgerrin James, Kurt Warner, Breston, you know, that whole gang. Talk a little bit about Arizona Cardinals offense in terms of just what you see in general and what they can do in Super Bowl 43.
Well, I think O.J. Simpson run the ball pretty good. Oh, my bad.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Okay, wrong.
I almost got in the Wayback Machine with you. That Super Bowl that OJ played in the snow. Ooh, he ran for about 475 yards.
Yeah, that's a
I
record.
want to see the footage of that.
You know
There
what?
ain't none.
There ain't none. That was the only Super Bowl that was never televised.
Right, or ever played.
Because nobody ever saw it. Except one guy.
Break it down. It's gonna come down to the front five, and they're going to hold support. I mean, good hosiery support.
Right.
They can't sit there. They can't take plays off because it's NFC don't see too many teams that run a 3-4 defense.
Right.
There's only a few teams in the NFL that run a 3-4.
Right.
And Pittsburgh will come with these schemes where it looked like they bring in
The last team
kitchen
they
sink.
played with a 3-4. What, 44-0?
Yeah.
So,
New England Patriots.
right.
And they disguise those blitzes good. But Kirk Warner, they talking about a 3-step drop. I mean, that's good. But in order for Arizona to have success, EJ, Hightower, and Arrington are going to have to run. They're going to have to run the ball successful. They're going to get 2 or 3 yards a pop. If not, that'll leave your linebackers at home. And guess what? They run a quick slant. A quick slant is designed for your linebackers to come in on the run. If Mr. Harrison and them can stay back and foot,
Right.
You can put the foot in them, huh?
they're going to put a foot in deep in them.
Right.
Now, let me ask you about, you talk about Arizona's front five, you talk about the 3-4 defense. Why is it so difficult for offensive linemen to handle that 3-4 scheme in the pass protection?
As an offensive lineman, you used to having a center, 2 tackles, and 2 ends
Line up over you.
line up over you. Now you got one fat guy, another fat guy, and another fat guy. But you don't
Everybody
know.
else standing up. They don't know
You're
where they're
standing
coming
up.
from.
And they can run stunt loops. They can have where the nose, he can line up on the nose guard. He might slant to the A gap, or he might jump back to the linebacker, and it switches.
Right.
And it causes trouble for him because you don't know
It's just a point
if
of
you set up as a
Trying
guard.
to figure out where that pressure coming from.
A guard is always key to your offensive line right there. And if I look up here, I see Big Wayne, and I'll say, well, I got him. And all of a sudden he moves and shifts.
Right. Now who I block?
Now who I block? Do you block anybody, or do you sit there and let Kurt Warner let him have it?
Now Bun said he expects they've got to run the football. Now, Edgerrin James got 213 yards in the 3 games they played in the playoffs. Do you see him running the ball effectively against the Steelers' defense?
No, I mean Philadelphia's defense was pretty good. Still wasn't Pittsburgh deep. Pittsburgh and Baltimore, that's another level. You know what I mean? I just don't see, right.
Yeah, them two.
It's another level, man. And I don't.
They play defense.
Right.
Right. They'll play defense.
I just can't see somebody that's really who's been non-existent for the last 2 or 3 years. I just can't really see somebody like that being a big key factor in this Super Bowl. He had a couple good games early in the playoffs, but that was against Carolina. And who did they play first? Atlanta. Come on, man. Those two defenses are nowhere near Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh was number 2 against the
Right.
rush in the regular season, only behind Minnesota Vikings. But the pass defense, number 1. But going back to Arizona's offense, do you think Arizona can go to maybe a 4 wide receiver set?
They have
and
to.
You're going to have to spread them out. Yep.
And
You're
they
going to have to spread them out. That's what they're going to have to do, because if they spread them out, that means Pittsburgh is going to have to get pressure with their front 3 and probably 1 extra linebacker.
Right.
If they go with the traditional set,
Palomaro gonna be everywhere.
right? They spread them out, and by spreading them out, you kind of take him out of the game as far as being up in that box where he makes all his plays at. You know what I'm saying? So if they keep him spread out, he's had to play a little deeper, because you got Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden coming at you. 43 can't be in that box like he normally is.
Now you're talking about the Steelers, the defense. We just mentioned some stats about them. Number 1 overall in all the NFL during the regular season. When they played Baltimore, it was like a heavyweight fight.
Right.
And they just beat Baltimore down into the ground. You talked a little bit about the 3-4, both of you. Either one of you jump on this. Where do you see, you talk about the pressure coming from the outside. Where do you see Palomalo? I know he lines up everywhere, but where do you see him being most effective? In the blitz package, or do you see him better in coverage where he's back there with Fitzgerald and Bolden?
I think he's going to have to be most effective in this game. He's going to have to play center field, get his Ken Griffey on.
Yep.
I think because you putting yourself in danger if he creep up, because it's not like Bolden can't hurt you deep,
Right.
Fitzgerald can't hurt you deep. Now you got Steve Bresson lined up on probably a safety.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So he's going to win that match all day long if they keep all 3 of them on the field at the same time. So if they make the mistake and try to blitz, like we talked about earlier today, Kurt Warner, his quarterback rating against the blitz in the playoffs is 126.
Right.
That's high.
And for the season, it was 112.
Now,
So, that's playing into Arizona's hand if they start blitzing.
The only, you get Bob and Hank, they get together, they won't choke me. The only flaw in Brennan Law too, the only flaw that Pittsburgh have on defense, their DBs are over aggressive sometimes. They try to get that one big interception, and sometimes they just miss it. And then you can't give a guy like Fitzgerald just miss it, he just catch it.
And with Palomalo being so aggressive, that's like, that's where the trick play might come into play.
Yep.
Do a couple trick plays early, and that's going to take some of that aggressiveness away. You know what I'm saying? Because now they got to stay at home.
Now my thing with Steelers defense, Deshae Townsend, Ike Taylor,
Ryan Clark.
they really haven't had to play receivers of this caliber.
Nah.
If you think about playing against Baltimore, they didn't have to play,
Derek Mason.
Right. And that's it.
And you got a rookie quarterback in Flacco. Before that, who the Steelers? San Diego. You might get Vincent Jackson
Yeah.
and that receiver crew
Chambers.
maybe a step below who they're facing.
Well, I think the
But-
last time they played caliber receivers like that was Plaxico was the New York Giants.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
they had all them deep threats and stuff like that. But
But that whole division that they play in, other than Cincinnati, and they didn't have a quarterback this year. They don't have any receivers that can compare to Arizona.
Braylon Edwards,
He got the dropsies though.
Yeah, Braylon, he's got
He got
8
too much
fingers.
5-hour energy in
Right,
him.
and
or
he ain't
something.
got no thumbs. No thumbs. He out there like a bad gorilla. But going back to the Steelers' defense, you're looking at a situation where you mentioned it earlier. They're very aggressive. They
Very.
they like the zone blitz. They see guys
they love
from all different
They
angles.
love to take your helmet off.
But what that does is create one-on-one matchups with the Arizona receiving corps. Steve Bresson can be brought down one-on-one. But Bolden and Fitzgerald,
You can't, especially not Fitzgerald.
you've got to make. I think back to that Philadelphia game where I saw him catch just a hitch route. I think
Yeah.
it took 3 guys. I still see Ashanti Samuel on his back, holding him, yelling for help. You know, so
But the thing
what
about
are the Steelers going to have to do if they get caught in those matchups right there?
tackle,
Hip, take a little stang off. You know, put a
you know, instead of delivering
No.
that ESPN Sports Center highlight blow, make a tackle like you did back in high school.
Say wrap up,
Wrap up.
and see what you hit.
Fundamentals.
Keep your head
I
up.
don't know. I think early, man, them type of receivers like Fitzgerald, if you can get a shot on them, you got to hit them early.
Oh, you gotta hit 'em in the
Kinda
mouth.
right? You know, kind of make them a little
knock them
hesitant about.
dreadlocks loose a little bit.
Kind of make them hesitant about going across that middle, jumping up, catching, you know, giving their body up. You know.
Because Harrison, I don't know what he owned, but
I'm glad you mentioned that. I think a lot of people.
he get a hold of his old.
He's the AP Defensive Player of the Year, and he's coming off that edge. And Lamar Woodley, also on the edge. I truly believe that.
Hey,
if-
you know what nuts that, Joe? That man was undrafted.
yeah, he like John Randall coming out of Texas A&I.
Right.
You know,
Undrafted defensive player of the
Got
year.
cut by the Steelers.
yeah, and came right back. A lot of these guys are just hungry.
Yeah.
You know, they're getting an opportunity as opposed to getting a fat check when you come out of college. But what I was going to say is that Woodley on one side, Harrison on the other, if they can get pressure off the edge without blitzing, and as you said, now you
Right.
can drop those linebackers.
Right.
Kurt Warner, he's been awesome in the first half of all
That
of
clock
them.
will not tick fast enough.
And if he doesn't get that 1, 2, 3 flip,
Right.
and it doesn't work that way for him, might be a little trouble. Now, flip it. Steelers offense. Ben Roethlisberger in the last Super Bowl threw for 122 yards.
Oh, he was 12 years old. You
know.
know, man. Yeah, he was 12 years old.
Now he's 14.
Right.
You know, he got a milk mustache.
Yeah, he was
going
12
on
years
now.
old, man. You know, biggest game of his life, man.
You got Willie Parker, Kerry Davis, Mweldy Moore, just almost running back by committee like they've always done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Santonio Holmes is probably the flashiest player on that team. Lyman Swede, you know, he still think he down in Texas catching from Vince Young because
Right.
he can't catch anything now. What is, on the Steelers offense, what stands out or impresses you, if anything, about the offense?
None?
They went ugly.
Right.
They do.
Right.
You know that.
It seemed like that.
They
that
offense is kind of like a mirror of their defense. They just hit you in the mouth. You know, they slug it out with you.
You know what's amazing though is that when you look at rushing statistics, the Arizona Cardinals would last in the NFL for rushing, but the Steelers were 23rd.
It ain't
So
like
it's
they was
not-
turning it up.
Right now, I know
Right.
Willie Parker was out for a few games here or there, but I think
Then you had your
they've lost.
local alumni. He could have helped him out if he had kept his mouth quiet.
Well, he got introduced to Sugar Ray, and after Sugar Ray
Aw,
shook
that's
hands.
Ray Ray. Ain't no sugar. Ain't no nothing sugar about Ray Ray.
Well, it ain't sugar with an R. It's sugar.
Sugar.
S-U-G-A. And he put
Sugar
some-
Ray.
and he sprinkled him a little bit.
With Splendor equal.
Right.
Oh, that was
Pure cane?
Pure cane.
Pure cane sugar.
That's pure cane he put on him. And that's why he like, get me. Get
But-
me.
I think
another
Pitts-
text message.
And when you
I'm
use the
sorry.
phone,
Stop texting me.
I think
I can't
Tell
text
my
no
mom.
more.
I think the X factor will be Hines Ward because he's the type of player. You could be 3rd and 12, 13, and he'd take one of those 6-yard routes and he's gone up to. I mean, Hines Ward's been around forever. I mean, the dude came out of Georgia's quarterback. Now he's a wide receiver. He played everything, but he just
And he probably the hardest hitter on the
he
team.
knows how to play. He knows
He
how
plays
to play the
football.
game.
He's a football player, man.
He is.
And Big Ben, if he doesn't play, Big Ben would be out there lost without him.
Yeah. Now I think the other thing you talk about Hines Ward and his possession receiver, but Santonio Holmes has really stepped his game up from coming in from Ohio State and giving them that deep threat. I think the issue for the Steelers really is going to be holding on to the football and getting Willie Parker.
I think that's the X factor right there, Willie Parker. Couple weeks off, hot weather, his body's gonna feel good. He's rested. I'm telling you, man. I mean, they haven't faced a running back like Arizona hasn't faced a running back like him yet. With the speed and a little power too. So I figure if he can get off and keep Kurt Warner on the sideline, I can see Willie Parker picking up that MVP.
And then it's another guy. Don't too many people mention Heath Miller. Heath Miller might kill
Tight
him.
end, yeah.
Right.
He run that old seam route. He'd sit down. He'd run 8-yard route. He'd sit down and like he blocking.
So they turn around and
Pow! There it
hit him in
is.
a triangle.
Yeah.
Well, I have to agree with you on that, Bun. I think what's going to happen threefold. Wayne hit it on the head. Willie Parker will be fed early and often. I think Heath Miller will be Ben Roethlisberger's best friend in the Super Bowl, as he'll be looking for him. Hines Ward, he's not going to be 100%. You sprain a MCL and you come back in 2 weeks.
Right.
But the goal for him is Hines Ward has never been a guy that he's going to go out there and run up and down the field on you. He just needs to be in the right place, catch the ball, move the chains.
That's what I was gonna say. I
He gonna
think
play possum.
Hines Ward, he's gonna play, but he might be that one. I think he might be that player that make that one big play of the game. The game breaker. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's not gonna. He's like you said. He's still hurt. He's not gonna kill you the whole game, but he might be that backbreaker in the fourth quarter.
Now, Arizona, flip side, flip it again, Arizona's defense. Arizona has created, I think, 7 interceptions in the 3 playoff games. Now, mind you, of those 7, 5 came in the one game against Carolina.
Right.
But they've played well enough. I ain't going to say played good, but well enough. If you think about that championship game against Philly, they played well enough early. The offense was able to get out to a nice lead.
They got
and
some
then
big time
sustained it.
athletes on their defense.
You know.
I think their defense is good enough to where. I mean, first of all, Pittsburgh offense is not that great, so their defense can play with them. It's not like somebody trying to stop Arizona's offense. You know what I'm saying? So I think their defense got enough athletes with Cromartie. What's the other safety?
Adrian Wilson.
Right, Adrian Wilson. They get. They can make turnovers back there.
Right.
And like I said, Roethlisberger, he likes to take chances, and he likes to hold on to that ball a lot. So I think that defense is good enough to hang with the Pittsburgh offense.
But I think their weakness on defense, their front line. They give up a whole lot of yards on the run. Right. I mean, because you look during the year, Frank Gore, if San Francisco had a real quarterback or something, Frank Gore killed him.
Right.
By running right up, not off tackle, running up the middle, run at him. And, these guys, they
lost 7 games for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, the defense can make plays, but, I think they're going to have to play above and beyond what they've been doing.
Their defense makes silly mistakes, especially at DBs. They commit silly penalties.
Right.
Like you go for a long pass, and you fear you and got beat, and the ball is out of reach, and you reach out and grab them.
Honestly, in the championship game, it was a pass interference, but they didn't call it.
Yeah.
And
I was
that could have broke their back. They might not have even been there.
Well, I was going to bring up the fact that if you look at the top 5 tacklers for Arizona's defense,
I can't even name 3 players on the team on the defense.
4 of the top 5 tacklers are defensive backs and safeties.
That means they're giving up a lot of
So
runs.
they're giving up a lot of running yards. And I think you guys talk about winning early. Winning ugly. Steelers' offense, they like to grind it out. I think Willie Parker will run it. Roethlisberger will do one of them step back.
Behind the back,
slide
off the
step,
scoreboard.
Pull it behind his back, no look.
Tim Tebow?
Right. Flip it, and then Hines Ward will run up the field for about 17, 18 yards.
Right.
Keep the chains moving. I think, all in all, if Arizona doesn't turn Pittsburgh over early, it's going to be a long day in Tampa for Arizona's defense, because the final thing is, you talk about Arizona up front. Now you got Big Gabe Watson, who used to play at Michigan. He's sitting there in the middle, but he's not imposing. He's a big guy, but he's not that type of guy that like a Sean Rogers or a Ted Washington, somebody who's just going to fill up space. And if he can't do that, and they start running them counters and traps, and, getting them guys moving one way, and then what happens? Adrian Wilson starts creeping up. He starts creeping up.
And guess
Antonio
what?
Holmes.
Antonio Holmes, right up the seam. Heath Miller over the top of the linebacker. That's when you got Pittsburgh touchdown. And then the other thing, if Pittsburgh gets out early, offensively, and puts pressure on Arizona's defense, I think that puts pressure on Arizona's offense to think they got to come right back and match their intensity and score.
But one thing I look for Arizona, one of their weaknesses, another weakness on a is special teams, especially on the kickoff. But I look for Arizona to come out first possession, go no huddle, just try to shake things up, because Pittsburgh, they bring a whole lot, they do a whole lot of substitution personnel and stuff, and they try to set their blitz up on you the way you looking. If you get to the line, you run 2 yards. Hey, boom, line up again. You have 4 or 5 plays called and go.
Right.
But if they sit there and get in a huddle, I mean, like you say, it could be a long night if things don't go right, especially if them DBs is making you see Willie Parker breaking them 7-8 yard runs, because then they be like, man, they try to put 8 and 9 in the box, and he's Big Ben is not gonna throw deep. He gonna hit you about 10, 15 yards, and then after a while, Hines Ward gonna run an old reverse flip, and they gonna throw it downfield deep, and Cromartie gonna be like, oh,
That's
they got me.
God dang.
I can't believe this. They done did it
drop
again.
it. Oh, please drop it.
All right,
This is the thing I like about this Super Bowl. Normally you got coaches in this Super Bowl that's, kind of one is kind of above and beyond the other coach. These coaches here, both of these guys, fresh meat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Normally, you can give give a team an edge just because of who's coaching them.
Right.
Like when my Bears went, everybody knew Tony Dungy was going to outcoach.
Lovie Smith, right.
Exactly. This game here is going to be decided on the field. No, no intangibles with the coaches. No intimidating the other coaches.
Then Mike Tomlin is younger than Kurt Warner.
Right.
Right. He's 36. Warner gonna be 38.
Right.
So
Then you got Dick LeBeau. He was 79, 80.
going on 106. But you talk about the coaching staff. Russ Grimm and Whisenhunt got passed over for that job. Do you think they get any extra incentive going up against the Steelers with the opportunity of beating Mike Tomlin and the Steelers and saying, hey, maybe you picked the wrong guy? Is that you think that's a thought?
If they human, yeah, it's a thought.
And they are human.
Right.
So,
Come on, man.
I'm wondering, you talk about no intangible, but the fact that you're looking across the field and you see that black and gold.
But that works both ways, because I'm pretty sure Tomlin wants to prove to his owners
that they picked the right guy?
Yeah, they didn't make a mistake.
Well, predictions. We're going to go ahead and just and pick it and say it there. I'll put mine out there. I put it out there this morning.
He always put it
Pittsburgh,
out there.
24, Arizona 14. I just think the Steelers, as you guys said about them winning ugly, they're going to win this Super Bowl ugly because they're just going to pound and pound and pound and pound on Arizona. And Arizona's going to break. I think Kurt Warner is going to throw at least 2 interceptions in this game. And Adrian James is going to put the ball.
Yeah, because he don't want to get
ground.
hit.
Right. I think with the ice
He
coated
will.
gloves.
I seen him a couple times. He pulled a Rex Grossman. He'd throw it in.
Right. So his purse up.
Did you see that?
No.
They almost hit me. Kurt, you all right, child?
Right.
So 24-14. I'm going with the Steelers on this one here. Wayne,
17 for the Cardinals, 28 for the Steelers.
28 for the Steelers. Bun, you got on Big Red.
Keep going with the Cardinals.
2-0 Pittsburgh.
5-2.
Roberto Clemente, 2
So that mean if you think about going one of them offshore places, that mean you take the under, And you take the dog.
Because the dog is getting 7.
The
Yeah.
dog is getting 7. But I think it'd be 31-21.
31-21.
Who?
Wait a minute.
Pittsburgh.
Okay.
What do you know about the offshore? You say he was,
Man, he's speaking languages.
I don't know that language.
I do.
Language.
Right. And we on public access too. You don't know who watching.
What?
Wink, wink.
Offshore, you know. Everything offshore.
Well,
If you go to Tampa Bay, you can go out in the water, you're offshore.
that's our prediction. We got a few minutes left in the show, so if you want to give us a hit and give us your prediction, it's 328-8280. But we'll be watching the Super Bowl, not in our normal location. Normally we'll be sitting on
What's your
somebody's
normal?
couch.
What's your?
You know, now, a normal location usually is at somebody's house or on the couch, and you just sitting in front of the TV. And
Playing musical chairs.
Right. I was sitting there. Hey, bro, that's my seat.
Right.
And nope. Well, this time things will be a little different because Sunday,
Things are different.
if you want to hang out with us 3 and Dollar Bill, he ain't here right now, but 4 guys from Tell It Like It Is, come on out to Club 45.
And Stat Girl.
Can I get to that point, young lady? You know what?
Tell it like it is.
Tell it like it is. That's what happened when you're
Tell it
sick.
like it is.
You know, when you're sick, your patience is
Right.
low. Your tolerance is low. Because that cold be telling, he ain't say my name. He ain't say, and Stat Girl. Stat Girl will be there to see on your screen. That's what you're going to hear, that music.
That girl gonna be out there with a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader suit on, roller skate,
Redskins.
huh?
Redskins.
Oh, right, yeah.
My fault. My
That
fault.
music means one thing, that we'll be out there at 45, on Route 45, North Cunningham, and the
35-15.
party will start 3 o'clock for the Boys and Girls Club. I said like I'm at the bus station. I'm trying to tell the routes, and you come in with your
You don't
boom
need to tell no
box. That's
route.
Radio Raheem. No music, no music, no music. I feel like
Dude,
Sal.
I'm
Put some
sorry.
cheese on
I'm
it.
sorry.
All right, man. But anyway, Club 45 on Route 45, 3515 North Cunningham.
There you go for the MapQuest people.
There you go.
You know, everybody don't know what Club 45 is.
on Route 45.
Right.
I'm on Cunningham. What do you mean? What we mean is come on out north of Banner, like you're headed towards Rantoul. As you come on up, go past, there's a couple places on the right that you know about. And when you go past them, then you're going to make that left turn and come back on the south side of Route 45. We'll be up in there. We're going to start up at 3 o'clock. It is a $5 donation, and the purpose of the donation is this is going to be a fundraiser for the Don Moore Boys and Girls Club. All of us, well, Big Wayne and myself, we're club kids. Bun, they didn't have a club down there in Paducah. They used to just meet at the old cardboard box and kick the can.
Oh, you met at the
throw
corner.
red
We
clay.
met at the lot.
At the lot.
Like I told you earlier.
I'm sorry.
Multi-purpose facility.
That's what they call them today. Back then, it was
was
a
a
lot. A bare lot. That was it.
Basketball hoop. Played
field,
football field,
baseball,
and you played baseball.
and
Kickball too.
Right.
and wrestling. Y'all did a lot of wrestling down
No,
there.
you
too.
don't wrestle. You
Y'all
get in
didn't
trouble.
wrestle.
Get hurt wrestling.
Right. But we'll be out at Club 45, so come check us out. Like I said, the party starts at 3 o'clock, and we're going to be there from 3 and hopefully until the last person gets swept out of the door.
Right. It's not only just to watch the game, but it's really for a good cause. I think, we need, as a community, we need to help keep this boys club around. And we would really appreciate it if you guys came on out, donated a little bit of that bread y'all making out there.
There you go.
And we gonna do our show.
Yeah.
We're gonna do our show. Pre-Super Bowl show.
Yeah, you know how y'all sit down and watch-
Because everybody don't want to watch that old,
Yeah, that old bland.
showing buses coming off, ain't but one person on the bus.
Right.
Come watch us.
We see some
Big
of y'all.
Wayne, Big Joe, Big Bun, and Dollar Diva. We're going to be
Right.
out there. We're
That's
going
it.
to talk about it, have our prediction, and then we're going to question you. We're going to have a question and answer. Say, you can ask us anything about sports.
Don't ask me about my personal life.
About sports, and we will try to get you an answer.
There you go.
It
I
ain't
agree.
because Joe got good stats. He gonna have his laptop with him, and as you talking, he gonna be punching.
And I'm going to have on my John Sally's, so I'll be able to focus in on whoever's asking those questions. But like Wayne said, the main focus of this is not us. It's for the kids, Don Moore Boys and Girls
They
Club.
good kids.
So
They
if
good
you-
kids. I know their mamas and their daddies.
Right.
So if you can't come out to hang out with us, come on by Club 45 and make your donation. Now, we're saying $5 is a cover. Well, what you get for the $5, first you get us. I mean, are we not worth $5?
We would
to come
take
hang out
pictures.
with?
We would take pictures and autographs if you want them.
Bundy and Dollar will take pictures and do autographs. Me and Big Wayne will be at the food
Bring your
table.
camera. Bring your digital camera.
Come on out, hang out with us. But the other thing, we're gonna have food out there. They've got cash bar going on out there. We talked to the folks at Aaron's. Aaron's has been nice enough to donate 2 TVs, and they'll be setting the stuff up out at Route 45. But the other thing, if you can't get out there and check us out, go by Aaron's and drop your money on an HD TV so you can get your own Super Bowl party
Right.
going on. But the main thing is this is for the Boys and Girls Club. So get on out, make your donation, hang out with us. DJ Felix is gonna be in the house.
That's right.
So come early.
You
We
know.
have food at 3 o'clock. 3:07. It might not be around.
There you go.
That's your fault.
We got a lot, but we ain't trying to feed the whole city.
No.
You're right.
And you know,
And I love
We're gonna have chitlins and turnip greens, hot water cornbread, sweet potato pie.
real Super Bowl party. Ain't gonna be none of that finger food.
You're right. We're gonna have a meal where, hey, once you get done eating, you're gonna go find your facility.
there you go. And we ain't talking about out back because it's gonna be a little chilly for that. But like we said, come hang out with us. Tell
Ham
like
hocks.
it is.
We have
Crew will
hog
be out there.
maws.
Now I don't know if we have them all with bun, but I haven't seen that menu. So if you come out there looking for the
Hog
cornbread,
maws.
and
Hot
hog
water
maws,
cornbread, hot water.
cornbread, and all that good stuff. If you don't see it, you go holler at Bun.
If you stay long enough, we're gonna cook you some breakfast: ham, steaks, red-eye gravy, eggs, sausage.
Man, stop it, man. Wake him up.
I can't wait till he is on
He in the zone.
Right, I'm like, dang, he done went there.
Sweet tea, Kool-Aid, stirred with the hand.
You have gone there, haven't you?
You
ready?
Wake him up, man.
I'm gonna tell y'all.
What he said?
Look, I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story. Real true story. In college, Western Kentucky, right here, WKU. Dude, one of the guys I hang out with, he make Kool-Aid. He make it with his hand, stir it with his hand. He think it deter somebody from drinking Kool-Aid.
That if he put his hand, you
stick
when
it in the
college-
refrigerator.
Wait a minute. First of all, when you're in college,
You don't care.
that can deter a college student.
I didn't have.
eating or drinking.
I didn't have adult beverages out of garbage cans.
All they did was put a liner in there.
I hope they did.
And if they didn't, just extra fruit and juices. That's all it was. You know, this punch
Next
night.
stand girl, she's like, "Oh, this is so gross." Have you ever drunk beverages out of garbage can?
No comment.
That means she has.
Right.
I have.
Yeah, she watched Governor Blagojevich's speech the other night. So you know, when they say
Right.
no comment, I mean they did it. They just can't tell us. You know, but Club 45, Route 45, 3515 North Cunningham Avenue. 3 o'clock is when we start. $5 cover. All proceeds go to Don Moore Boys and Girls Club. Food, drink, music, and the most important thing, Big Wayne, Big Bun, and Diva Dollar will be there. I'll be trying to hang out in the background. But it's Tell It Like It Is crew will be there, but it's for the Don Moore Boys and Girls Club. Very important to me, very important to Wayne, and very important to this community. So come out, give your support. We'll be there all day.
And there will be TV cameras there to take interviews and stuff.
So
There you
don't come
go.
out there with your curlers in your head and stuff.
And I'm glad you guys mentioned that. When you come out, I would hope that you would put on your favorite team's jersey just to add to the festive
football
environment.
flavor.
The football flavor and festive environment. Now, we only got about 40 seconds left in the show. I just got a report that Champaign Centennial defeated my Maroons again, but it was a little closer than the first time. 60-47. The Centennial Chargers are victorious in the battle. of
They
City
just
Champaign.
might be on their way, man.
You know, I think with them, they're probably
They're looking-
20-1 right now. Number 1 ranked team.
Him
in
downstairs.
3A.
Right.
So for Big Bun, Big Wayne, Stat Girl, Diva Dollar, Jason in the back. This is it.
Jason
Tell
in
it
the
like
back.
it is. We're gonna be out
Kendall
here.
Keyshawn over there.
But remember to come out to Club 45
Kendall in the
on
back,
Sunday.
sun
Super
rooftop,
Bowl
dig in the
43.
scene with the
Check us
gangsta
out.
lean. Woo.
Big Bun is home